All right, everyone, we are here with War 2 against Book of the Vishanti. Today, I will be taking in Quicksilver, Deathless Guillotine, and Deathless Thanos. I've got Path 1 in both sections, a shared fight on all three shared islands, and then I am also, as you saw by the thumbnail, on boss duty. So, this war felt like I made up, or got to experience finally, what I missed out on with Decay the first time it came around and Decay last season. And what I mean by that is that I love Quicksilver and love playing him, and he is pretty ridiculous for this tactic, and we'll get into that as we take these fights. So, boosting up here, first fight on the first path 1 in section 1, we've got an in Ironman Infinity War. We are taking with Thanos. It is his only fight. I had the option between Thanos and Serpent. I didn't need to cover anything with Serpent, so I brought Thanos so that I could bring Guillotine just in case I decided to use her for the Thanos boss. So, Iron Man here, the game plan was to get a 10 combo in to get our first counterpunch charge, off the counterpunch combo into special 1. We should have 20 charges there to get 4 Furies off the special 1. And then what probably could have or should have happened is with the next special attack, which could have been a special 1, that I heavy into the special 1. But on replay, watching this play out, the charges I would have had after all of that would not have given me more than 1 or 2 Furies. So it's kind of fine that that didn't happen. So we have heavy here, armor shatter. He's not going to gain any more armor ups, which is good if we can hold on to those, which they will remain paused thanks to counterpunch. Then we won't have to worry about the final 18%, and special 2 does the trick. So easy fight for Thanos. The rest of the war is Quicksilver. So Longshot here on Masochism. He's going to be unblockable the entire fight. This fight, the real challenge is just looking for openings. So in duels, you have to practice, especially if you're not comfortable with Quicksilver's combo and animations. You have to practice the special 1 retaliate. You have to practice hitting into his block to bait out a heavy. You have to practice intercepting, especially with the way it's been working currently at 60 FPS. So there's a heavy opening, perfect. We're pushing him to special 1. I back off without ending with a medium. I assume that a hit of the special 1 dexing it is going to refresh my whiplash, so I don't risk being too close at the end of a medium on Longshot. And then out on the first hit, in on the second hit, out. Or sorry, in between the 2 hits, and then out on the second hit, retaliate. And there's your opening. So it's rinse and repeat that as you build whiplash, constantly getting him to a bar of power, backing off without ending a medium, get to 2 bars yourself. Get ready, get set, medium, light, medium, special 2, and boop, game over. So, pretty simple, pretty straightforward fight. We move on, second path 1 in section 2. Starting out with Manthing here, taking it with Quicksilver as well. Even easier than Longshot. Rank 3 Quicksilver, max boosted. We don't ever get close to the 10 regen hits for him to go unblockable. Even if he does go unblockable, it's no big deal. I did, however, miss something in this interaction and got lucky. I should have started with a heavy, built to a special 1 and used it, or dashed constantly back until we got to 300 momentum, so that we can get our slow from our kit up for this fight. Since little pustules from Man-Thing, if they get nullified, which they have, they can trigger Unstoppable. And I got lucky that that didn't happen. Here's our first special 2. So we got Trauma on. Now we're going to end up doing more hits or more damage per hit. And the game plan here would be to build to the second special 2. If we can make it there, we should, unless for some reason we just detonate these before we even get there. Refresh there with a medium, light, medium, special 2, blip. Down goes Man-Thing, nice and easy. Next up, Photon. Now, could have brought a Mantis. Decided, what the heck, let me remove Dexterity, which I did. take this with Quicksilver. Why remove dexterity, you say? It's because Quicksilver can dodge her special attacks without dex on. If it's on, he can't do it. If it's off, he can totally do it. So, game plan here is the same as all the other fights. Medium, light, medium, special 2 once we get there. And blip away. Bait special 1s, so we're pushing her to special 1 constantly. Being on our toes when we end a combo and she's over a bar of power, so that we can dex it if she throws it right away. And I believe for this fight, I do decide, since we're only at 4 whiplash here, I do decide, I think, to do the terminal velocity blip. Let me see here. I'm pretty sure I do that. Yeah, okay. So we threw a special 1. Now we're trying to get into terminal velocity, so 900 momentum. And what we're going to do is we're going to double the whiplash when we get to special 2, and then those are going to expire, and she's going to disappear. So doing a couple special 1s, you could heavy, that way you increase the amount of momentum you get, or that you build. I decide not to. Why not? Let's just go ahead and build enough whiplash. It's a path fight, we really don't need that many. So we could technically just get to terminal velocity as fast as possible. But anyways, slow and controlled, nice and chill. Decide to heavy here since we're about 100 out. So now while I dex back and bait that special 1, we're gonna push ourselves closer to terminal velocity. There we are. I'm gonna get this last special 1 out. I'm gonna go in for a hit and throw special 1, or special 2. This is going to double our whiplash, and they are gonna naturally expire because it is over 50, and boop goes Photon. So we finish that up. Slap that dexterity back on, not a big deal, but if we don't, but I still wasn't sure who I was taking or using for the boss. Onslaught here. Now, benefit, Quicksilver doesn't gain a buff, so no power snack. He's a decay champ, so Neuroshock, if we happen to get degened, and the power sting on here, as long as we have enough debuffs placed, which we definitely will, we're not going to get any damage from that. My game plan, since Onslaught is so tanky, was to get into terminal velocity and then double the whiplash with a special 2. You'll see why that kind of rotation can be frustrating, but you'll see with the way it ends that it does not matter. You can just do back-to-back special 2s with a medium, light, medium into the special 2. Things to look out for that I have not mentioned. Since Quicksilver's combo is 13 hits total, he is always going to get that crush charge ready for Onslaught. If you're going into a special 1 to knock him down, that was also why I was going to terminal velocity, so I could use that as a knockdown. It'll remove the charge. If you don't, just be on your toes to dex. Another thing that I practiced in duels, you'll notice that with Onslaught, as opposed to Longshot, I was ending combos with a medium even when Onslaught was over a bar of power. That's because I found out that Quicksilver is fast enough to dex out right after that medium, and if Onslaught immediately throws a special 1, dex again to miss the first hit. It happened, I believe, once this fight, so I was happy I practiced it, but knowing that meant that I could always end with a medium and get the heck out of there. Now, back to the terminal velocity rotation. Here I am already in terminal velocity. Because Onslaught holds this special 1 for freaking ever, I end up getting most of my terminal velocity timer expired. And at this point I go, all right, well, we're not gonna double it. So we're just gonna go with what I usually do, medium, light, medium into special 2. So here's the last special 1. There it is, that double dex back at the beginning, like I mentioned. Look for our opening. Medium, light, medium, special 2, and dude has enough whiplash that, boop, he went bye-bye. As a shared fight, more health. We came out 100%. Next up, Prowler on Power Focus 2 and Scared Stiff. He is Sugar Pill. We don't gain any buffs. Not a big deal. We won't go unstoppable there. Quicksilver counters miss. So we can retaliate special attacks as long as we get the 300 plus momentum, which we're going to because we're going to PS1. The game plan to start out here, or any fight where you need to get to 300 quickly, is to parry heavy or wait for a heavy to retaliate with a heavy to get that passive for double momentum, that green one right there, and then throw special one. Doesn't matter if it goes into block, they're not going to be able to retaliate. But from here, he's slowed permanently. He's also unable to make you miss. So, the fight's over here. Nice thing about Prowler and unblockable and getting rooted, even if you get hit, most of his damage is going to come from the ruptures, and they're not going to do crap to you as a decay champion. So Quicksilver, until this fight is over, is going to have enough debuffs to avoid any rupture damage, any incinerate damage, and it's going to give you a lot of room for error in this fight. And you can see here we're countering miss, building to our first special 2. Come on, throw this special 1. I don't think he does. Oh, yep. And we beat root, so we're good. Medium, light, medium, special 2. So 1 rotation down. He's out of special 2. He throws it immediately. Great. Not a big deal. Go in to build more whiplash and get to our second special 2. This special 1 I wanted out. We get rooted before he throws it. Too close. There's that rupture hit. Like I said, room for error. More rupture hits. Come on, throw your special 2. All right, thanks, jerk. Rooted back here. That's the only downside. You can't really throw mediums in the middle of the field while rooted. It's gonna push him back too far, and hits are gonna miss. Medium, light, medium into special 2, and Prowler's bye-bye. And we keep rolling. Last shared fight. Sinister here. He's not Sugar Pill. We are still Decay. All our debuffs are in our kit. Super easy to place them. Doesn't matter that it's Hazard Shift. As soon as we get enough debuffs, which my plan was to use Conflictor to push him to special 1 really quick. That way we can get an easy 1-2 Wither debuffs from dexing the special 1. And then off of that, we would kind of build a base to avoid Hazard Shift giving us anything. So you saw me regen. That's just so that we can cover some of the Hazard Shift damage. You see there's a shock. I didn't want to hit him too much. I was trying to get him to special 1. Thought 2 hits was going to be enough. It wasn't. And then we dex there. Now he's got enough debuffs. So now we're not going to take any damage, and we're not. So here, game plan. Sinister was going to be also a terminal velocity special 2 double the whiplash game over fight, because I want the 1 trigger of whiplash to end him. Because obviously our hits aren't going to get his health down. You see we're doing a lot here. He's not getting a lot of health down. It's going to be the whiplash trigger that KOs him. And I didn't want to be put in a spot where after a special 2 detonate with a medium, light, medium into a special 2 that he doesn't have enough debuffs for me to prevent the Hazard Shift damage. So I'm trying to get the window of terminal velocity perfected here with a special 2. And so far, out of how many fights? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've tried it twice and only nailed it once. We fell outside of terminal velocity the other time. So here we go. We're good. Should just go in, right? Medium, light. Oops, medium. All right, well, we detonated it. It's no big deal. He's near death. He has enough debuffs. We're fine. So it's just build to another special 2 and finish the fight at this point. Would have been over, but it is what it is. It's not like it's a threat. Look at us at 100% health. Nice full yellow bar. Weird thing there. Just decided not to dash in. Only hit a medium, or registered that way. And then we will end it right here. Full yellow bar. Bye-bye, Sinister. And that's Quicksilver. Now, boss fight. I brought Guillotine because I thought after running through all that, Quicksilver would need potions. He's at full health. And that I thought I would have gotten away in a few clutch fights by the skin of my teeth. And yeah, I would have wanted to try Gilly out. Instead, we got here full health and just rolled with Quicksilver. And I said, hey, let's just take the guy in who doesn't gain any buffs so we don't have to worry about that part. So, although he does from knockdown. So, heavy retaliate. got the special one. Come on, Thanos. There's the special one. Blocked it. Don't care. He is now slowed. Now we have no concerns about unstoppable at any point. However, since this is a boss and it has physical resistance, this fight is not going to be over super quick like the others. So we are actually going to enter terminal velocity. And at that point, you have to make a decision when you have a bar of power. Do I save it so that I can easily get the slow on once terminal velocity ends? Or do I go for that special 2 and then build back up? Now, he reaches on the heavy. His heavy's only 1 hit. So you don't need a PS1. You don't need to hold on to a bar of power. You can bait a heavy, retaliate with a heavy, and then dash back until you get to 300 momentum. It's really simple to do. It does get you cornered, but that's not a big deal. Just know that you're going to get cornered if you have to. But if you want the simple route, use the PS1 or hold on to that special 1. You can see here I'm starting to get in a groove. I figured it out. I'm going to block the first beam, dodge the second one, let that refresh my whiplash. So if it pushes him, if my combo pushes him over a bar of power, I'm not going to end with a medium. Just going to get out. I'm not even going to bother dexing. It's not doing any damage. Panic is healing us. Yeah, this is the most casual boss fight I think I've ever had. Sure, it's slow, but like I literally had 0 worries at any point during this fight. Here's our second special 2. The timer on the first trauma debuff isn't even down yet with how many special attacks Thanos throws because it keeps getting paused. So now we have 2 traumas. And by the end of this, we will have 4 traumas. So almost every special 2, except for that second one, pushes him to his protection cap in his SIG ability, where it drops his damage or your damage to 0. So now we hit the cap here because we didn't hit it with the special 2, but the last 2 are obviously going to hit the cap with the second one actually KOing him. So, but look at us. No problem with slow. Terminal velocity fell, but I had a special 1 ready and I threw a heavy and a special 1. We're back to having the permanent slow. We don't have to worry about unstoppable. We need that slow because Quicksilver's combo is 13 and it only takes 5 hits for Thanos on defense to gain a counterpunch charge. And once he has 2 max, the third one immediately becomes an unstoppable passive. So if you're doing your math, we get the max cap in 1 full combo, assuming he starts at 0. If he's starting at the end of that 13, then he's going to get 3 in the full combo. So we need the slow immediately before we can start doing much. Safely, anyways. But once we get to that 300 momentum, there's not a care in the world. So we're building up to our final special 3. If you're looking, we've got 3 trauma debuffs on this dude. We haven't lost more than 10% of our health at any point, probably after we ate that 1 special 1, but since then, we've just been gaining health. We haven't worried about unstoppable. He hasn't gone to special 2 except for once because I pushed him with a special 2. So it's a very, very manageable fight, very simple, very straightforward, and here's the last special 2 to finish the war. Boop. And down goes Thanos. So that was the end of my war. Obviously, there's nothing left to fight. We ended up getting a donut in BG1, and we ended up winning 8-2. So it was a good bounce back from our other war. Salty's got a strong defense, so somewhere in the middle is probably where we're going to end up for most wars, but obviously we want to end up more in this 2 range. So it's a good showing for the second war. There are 9 wars left because we only started with 11 for the season. We had that first one canceled. But I hope you guys enjoyed the really long Quicksilver tutorial. Hit subscribe and give it a like, and I will catch you guys at the next war.